Are you getting good value for your driving lessons? Bear with me, this might be a little bit long-winded. So, when you get on your driving lessons, is your instructor saying to you, today we're going to go on a general drive? Now, this can be a little bit of a red flag in a lot of circumstances, but not always. So if every single lesson your instructor's just saying to you, we're going to go on a general drive, we're going to go on a general drive, then there's something not right. There should be a formulated and structured plan in place for every single lesson so that you can improve and progress and essentially get that little bit closer to passing your test. If you're just doing general drive, that suggests to me that there's a little bit of laziness going on there with your instructor and is not putting as much effort into your lessons as what it should be or she should be. So a typical lesson for me would be my student gets in the car, we have a quick chat about what we did last time, and then we formulate a plan together for this lesson about what we're going to do going forward, what we want to achieve, and then off we go, and then hopefully we achieve what we've set out to do. But the point being is there's a plan in place. We're not just going over a general drive. We're not just driving in a straight line for miles per end and then coming back. We're not doing that. There's always a plan in place to keep getting incrementally better. The only time I would ever say to one of my students, we're going to go on a general getting over things, a general drive, is when the test's ready and they've done mock tests. They don't really need to do anything specific. It's all really good. So we'll just try and cram him as much into that lesson as possible. A general going over things, because that's what we need. Just needs practice over everything just to keep it ticking over nicely before they actually hit the test. That's the only time. So if you're 30, 40 plus hours into your lessons, and most lessons you're getting in the car and you're going for a general drive, you need to probably start asking questions. I've recently just had a lady who came to me from a different instructor and she did 46 hours of general driving. And all she was doing every single lesson was driving in a straight line, an hour away, a straight line coming back, and that was it. She started asking questions when a work colleague passed from me after 20 hours from start to finish. She'd not done any manoeuvres, any sat-nav driving. So we formulated the plan to get everything sorted as quick as possible. And within 5 hours, she'd passed the test. And essentially, she was just being strung along and along and along. Now, I'm not bashing all instructors. There's some really, really good ones out there. But there's also some really bad ones out there as well. So if any of these things apply to your instructor, which I've said today, then there's no harm in getting a second opinion of a different instructor. You can just go and have one assessment lesson, find out where you stand with someone else. Or have an open conversation and transparent conversation with your instructor. What's going on? What's happening? And then try and formulate a plan moving forward from there. Because essentially, every single lesson, new learning should take place. New learning and improvement should take place. Or an existing skill should have been improved. But if you go away from your lessons and you haven't learned anything new, or an existing skill hasn't been improved upon, then again, there's probably something wrong, unless you are at test standard and everything's pretty much perfect.